is our weather pattern continuing to be stormy? We will track that hour by hour, neighborhood by neighborhood. Plus, we're tracking the tropics. There may actually be some activity down there in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane hunters are on standby today. We'll take a look at what could be ahead for them and, of course, what this means perhaps for the rest of the hurricane season. But before we do any of that, let's just look outside and see what's doing this morning. It is a lovely start to the day. This is a look out toward Walt Disney World and, of course, the Tourist District Tower Cam. You've got the casting center there on the left. You've got Disney Springs kind of on the right. I see Spaceship Earth there on the left. I actually, just beyond the Cirque du Soleil Tower, if you look closely, that's the Contemporary. That's actually the Magic Kingdom. Yeah, very cool stuff. All right, it's a beautiful start to the day. Temperatures, we're cycling them on the bottom of the screen, but for you, neighborhood by neighborhood, here you go. 75 degrees in Orlando. We're sitting at about 73 degrees in Ocala. It is a lovely 72 in DeLand, 75 degrees in Daytona Beach, and 72 in Palm Bay. So it looks good. It feels good. Our first warning, live Doppler radar. Rain-free in our area, though let me take you over to the Gulf of Mexico, where we are watching showers and thunder showers. Actually, I'm curious. Oh, it's because hold on a second. I need to make an adjustment to the radar. Didn't get made yesterday. Stand by. Second trip off. When we run the higher PRF, people. Let me just do this. Hold on. Let me just, if we're going to do that, we'll do that. We'll do that. Second trip off. I don't think we need second trip on. Okay. Theoretically now, when the live radar sweeps through here, bear with me. I know this is bad TV, but the radar is looking like garbage, and it's because there was a setting that was wrongly set or not changed back. I just want the radar to sweep through Cedar Key, make sure that this data looks a little bit better. Oh, there it goes. Okay, you see the difference? You see the difference? Bad. Good. Okay, all right. Now we can move on with our broadcast. There are some showers and thunder showers already out off the Gulf Coast. Bear with me one more second. Now that I'm looking at that, there's one more tweak. I know. See, this is the problem. That. Okay, all right. This is the raw controls on our radar. Okay, I'm done. I'm back. Okay, so there's a couple of storms over there. My apologies. The train flew off the tracks. That's nice and quiet for now for us. But as those storms start to move in, it's going to get things going earlier-ish in the day out west and then gradually work across our area through the day. So look for an earlier start to those showers and those thunder showers in our western areas. And then from west to east, we'll watch those storms marching on through. My apologies. That was bad TV. I know. Thank God this isn't real TV, right? Thank God it's just social media. It was good seeing you yesterday as well, Frankie. Love you, buddy. Love you. Good morning from Palm Coast. Getting ready to head to Daytona Beach to rent out jet skis. What? The clouds for me. Oh, that sounds fun. Robin, just get it done early and you'll be good to go. How's it looking today? It's looking stormy. Yet again, we're running a 60% coverage of showers and thunder showers. And you can see, I think it may be a little bit of a later start today versus yesterday. Yesterday got started a little early, but I think today may be just a little bit of a later start. So for planning purposes, that's actually pretty good for us. Friday Night Football may be in question. We're going to take a look at Futurecast here in a minute. Chris says, good thing this isn't TV. Oh, that's true. That's absolutely true, my friend. Good morning to you, Beth, Nancy, John. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Mickey over on YouTube, Ashley on Facebook. Good morning to you. Walt, good morning. Glad to see your name popping on here. Kenneth, how are you? It rained my entire drive home. Oh, man, I'm sorry. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast and see where we're going today. So we've got that rain on the West Coast. It's showing up just fine, so that works. Let's roll through time. That rain kind of hangs out and sparks up the West Coast sea breeze. So there's lunchtime, and you can see those showers and thunder showers along the West Coast. Then it starts to move in. There's 2 p.m., 4 p.m., right? By 6 p.m., that's when we look to get the big shower and thunderstorm collision. That's when we're going to get the big smack together. That's when we're, of course, going to be talking about the bigger thunderstorms. So it looks like it's more of a 6:30, and then continuing through 8 o'clock. That does not bode well for some Friday night football games. Yeah, it's week 1. Can you believe? Friday night football starts tonight. I can't believe it's already high school football time. I mentioned this yesterday, but there's a lot of great games in store. We've got along the coast, the Merritt Island Mustangs heading over to Cocoa for the Tigers. That's going to be a great game. We've got some good football here as Edgewater welcomes Seminole. And this is one... I clicked the wrong one. My bad. This is one, I think, perennial powerhouses right out the gate. This is going to be a great football game. Osceola Cowboys heading over to Apopka to take on the Blue Darters. Wow. How fun is that? We'll be watching the radar, unfortunately. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll be watching for some showers and thunder showers to kind of taper off little bit by little bit by little bit. And as we just showed on Futurecast, it kind of times out that way. All right. I have to mention this. Yesterday, not only did several people get struck by lightning, but and if you watched WESH or any news here recently, you would have known about this. Not only did several people, 3 people, I believe, get struck by lightning, but a mom lost her life in this lightning strike. And what's worse is that not only is it in our backyard, it's at a school my wife used to teach at. One of the student struck was in my wife's dear friend's class. It's like 2 minutes up the road from me. Obviously, it's all over the news. So it's our community is what I'm trying to say. That makes this year's Florida lightning fatality count go to 2. It should be 0. The United States should be 0. But being that this just happened and it was in our neighborhood, I cannot just ignore this. I need to make mention, first off, that my thoughts and prayers absolutely are going to this family, both the immediate family, the Keith Elementary family, and anyone who was touched by these people, because this is just such a sad story. So I have to mention this, and the saying is so cheesy, but I don't care. The saying goes, when lightning roars, head indoors. Man, just so sad. We are one of the busiest lightning spots on the planet in our I-4 corridor here. And certainly we know that lightning is dangerous, but when it does this, I feel the responsibility to pause and just point out that every lightning strike you see, and in our afternoons, we see thousands of them, every one is potentially deadly. And it could happen to you. It could happen to me. I always joke with my family when we're like, we can't take a shower or we can't, be in the pool. And it's like, this is a real threat, right? Like, it really is a threat. So it truly breaks my heart. And then come to find out, a friend of mine, Ross, messaged that they were family friends with the family impact. And it's like, oh man, like awful. Just awful. Carolyn says, it amazes me how so many people down here won't go inside until they see lightning. I mean, we could look on radars and see bolts from the blue. That's a very real thing. It happens all the time where you'll get a strike way removed from the actual storm itself. Yeah. Alicia says, stuff we weren't allowed to do as kids. No baths, talking on the corded phone. Yeah, you can talk on your cell phone, but corded phone, no swimming, all these things. So I just make mention of that because it breaks my heart before you realize the what do they say, the 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon, and then when you add to that, it gives more reality, I guess you could say. Trying to find, it's just awful. So let's look at our Futurecast model, and you can very clearly see it's firing up those thunderstorms in our metro area, around 8, 9 o'clock or so. So lightning is very much a threat for us today once again. It just hurts my heart. Debbie says, we appreciate you, Eric. It's a sad story, but it needs to be spoken about. Lightning is nothing to play with, but these victims weren't just outside. It was a school pickup. And I think that that's the other part of it is it's like, like even yesterday, if we just looked at my Twitter account from yesterday morning, I try to constantly post like dismissal time information. Like yesterday morning, I'm just going through my Twitter here. Show more. Yesterday morning. Yeah, I've got to get through a million tweets. Yeah, okay, yesterday morning. Okay, actually, I could even go the day before, 10:15 p.m. Widespread showers and storms right around dismissal tomorrow. This very well may play into kids' end-of-school walk or ride home. And you know what? Let me just share this with you. It's a very not only is it a very clear shot, but it's like it was right on too. And this is not me trying to be like, look at how good Futurecast is, but it's like this is why this is such an important element to what we do. Yeah, widespread showers and storms right around dismissal tomorrow. This was August 17th. Right? I did that in the evening. That's 2 p.m. And you can see, I think Futurecast did a hell of a job, frankly. And so that's why we do what we do. It's not to sit here. I don't like to hear myself talk. I swear to you, I really don't. I'm not in this to be an Instagram celebrity. I'm in this to warn people about bad weather. I feel this responsibility on my heart. We've talked about this. I don't need to get into it. But once again, it's a reminder not only how dangerous that our weather can be on a daily basis, but also it's a reminder how precious life is, right? At least it is for me. I don't know. Jennifer says, I drove to the bus stop to get my kid and my friend's daughter because of the lightning. I've been caught outside her elementary school before. They keep the kids and make the parents wait. And I know that Keith had started dismissal and then stopped because the storm came out of nowhere to them. And so they're doing, everybody's doing what they can. But I do wonder what else we could do. Like if I were to, if I were to go on like this personal mission to try and teach administrators before, if I were to go on this like personal mission to try and teach administrators how to read radar loops and go and actually look at the radar loop before dismissal, because it's like, yeah, if you look outside, the storm came out of nowhere, but if you look at radar, it was there, it was moving toward you. So what can we do as a meteorological community to help schools No. Like, for example, I was texting my wife the whole time, who's at another elementary school in Seminole County, and I was texting her, you know, she's like, oh, it looks dark outside. I'm like, yeah, you're going to be holding the kids for a while. And they did. You can't just look outside. You've got to look at the radar. You've got to understand, use the tools available to you. Did you know that you own a radar? And this is not me like promoting the WESH, and then we'll get into the other coffee stop talk stuff in a minute. Did you know that you own a radar? You, Jennifer, Chris, Debbie, did you know that you own a radar? The National Weather Service in Melbourne, Florida, in Tampa, Florida, in Jacksonville, Florida, is funded by your and my tax dollars. The WESH radar that I use is funded by our commercial, money. You don't own that. I don't own that. I get to use it and all that fun stuff. But like, you own a radar. Actually, you own a radar at the Orlando International Airport as well. Use it. You pay for it whether or not you realize it. So we need to use these tools. Please, please. And any school administrator, anybody, any school administrator, any teacher, any volunteer, I am here, and I will teach you how to read radar. I will teach it to you. I will do everything I can to teach you how to keep our babies safe. Any teacher, any administrator, anybody who needs help learning to read radar, I will do that. And I'm not doing that on behalf of I'm not sitting here being like, let's make a promo, Wesh, that we're teaching people. I'm telling you, as a parent and as a meteorologist, I'm here to help. It's that important. Okay, enough. Sorry, I went out on a tangent. Okay. I used radar scope like yesterday when I saw the rotation. Yeah, exactly, Jason. The video was wild. Funnel cloud was forming. I sent it to I was off yesterday, Jason, but I sent it to the news desk. Steve says, while it would sound off constantly in Florida, I wonder if schools could install a lightning detector and turn them on an hour before dismissals. Baseball fields in northern states such as Ohio have them to alert lightning. Yeah, I know that a lot of athletic fields have them. But, there's even like one of our vendors, Becca says, you can do what you did with Walt Griffin in Seminole County. Or do you? Well, Walt's retired, but I do have the new superintendent, is it Dr. Beeman? I do have her number. Maybe I will send, you know what? Let's let the dust settle this morning. I'm sure that there's a lot that she's going to have to do, but I will certainly reach out to her. That's not a bad idea. And maybe I can do like a video or something. That's actually a really good idea. So I'm going to do that today. I will message her. Becca, that's a good call. Okay, enough of this. But that goes for all of us, not just school teachers and all this, but that goes for all of us. All right? All right, enough of that. Let's move on, shall we? Tropics, believe it or not, heating up. There is Invest 99 emerging outside of the Yucatan Peninsula, working out over to the southern Gulf of Mexico, okay? And this might be something. It's not going to be anything big. Certainly is no threat to us here in Central Florida, but there is a little something there. And Hurricane Center says there's a 40% chance of development. This is something that if it develops, it's got like a really narrow window, could become a depression, maybe a storm. Not overly concerned about it, but hey, it's been so quiet that it's worth mentioning at least. It could add a couple of ace points, a couple of decimal ace points for the year, but the season's still very quiet. Computer models on this are not bullish at all. But they are kind of in unison, taking it toward South Texas-ish / the northern Mexican coastline. Sorry, I was texting with a colleague. Let's see here. Use the Wesh Weather app and always switch the radar. Eric taught us. Yeah, that's the other thing, Debbie. Absolutely. Lightning is so much worse here than it is on Long Island. Yeah. And that's the other thing, by the way, too, is, and I've shown this to you before, but if you want access to the Wesh radar, we do give that to you. So I'm just going to open the Wesh app real fast, and we'll get back to the tropics. But in the Wesh app, if you go to the top left corner and you click on weather and you hit the plus on the weather tab, you can click radar. Okay, but radar only gives you a composite radar. So like, let's come over here, and you can see how like there's green blobs out there. That's fine, but if you click the little layers button down here in the corner, you can select the first warning live radar button, and that gives you access to our live radar. It looks a little rougher, right? But that's actually raw radar data from our radar. So it updates every minute instead of every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes. So if that's something that you would like to have access to, I did fight the fight and got that opened up, so you can use that. The reality is, I don't care what radar you use as long as you're safe. But I fought hard to get our live radar that I constantly tweak and I constantly work through, and the whole team constantly tweaks and works with. I fought hard to get that in our app, and it's there. So, all right. So this does not have a name yet. It is an invest, which means it's something that the Hurricane Center is investigating. It means we're running computer models. Models are not bullish on intensity. It just doesn't have a large window of opportunity. Danielle is the next name on the list. And, we're not really expecting this to take that name. What I do think is interesting, here we are, August 19th. The normal first hurricane is August 11th, not happening. First major hurricane, September 1st, probably not happening. But either way, it's interesting to see, how this evolves. Meanwhile, back here at home, there is a rocket launch scheduled. 3/21, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know. 50-50 shot of good weather. We'll see if that plays out. All right, so in the meantime, here we are. We'll look at the 7-day forecast, and then I will look at your questions, comments, concerns. All right, so for today, 60% coverage of showers and thunder showers, getting a little lower in coverage for your Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then getting even stormier yet Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right, let's see where we're at here in terms of your questions. Don't actually say it's quiet, like the ER will get crazy as soon as someone says, yeah, I know, exactly, Gene. I mean, models, we'll look at the tropical models here in a moment, but the tropical models are trying to start really waking things up. So I do think we're about to get quite busy. Christine, good morning. You were kind of in listening mode until now. That's okay. Just glad that you're here with us. Happy, healthy, hopefully. All is good. Mickey on YouTube, did you ever ask about Velocity product on the Wesh 2 app? I know you mentioned it when you were at your conference. I did, and the response was, I don't know why we don't have it. So I'll have to follow back up and see. I'm sure that there's coding that is involved in that. But I would also tell you, so in radar, okay, are you ready for some nerd stuff? In radar, it's all about physics. And essentially, we have different modes that we run the radar. Okay, so like for right now, it's kind of a fix-all, kind of a catch-all. So, we're running at 750 PRF with a 5-4 unfolding. It's not the greatest mode, but it's kind of a, there's some storms around. That PRF goes up dramatically. Like we'll run it to 1100, 1400. The higher the PRF, this is super nerd stuff. The higher the PRF, the better the velocity data, but the closer in the range is. So for now, you can kind of see how the radar cuts off. You see how the line goes further than the radar data does? That's because we've started to go higher in the PRF so that the range is coming in. Even though the radar is capable, it's not able to see as far because it's shooting quicker pulses. So right now, like the velocity data isn't great, but it isn't garbage. So I would just say that if we do get the velocity data in, understand that it's not always in a mode that has great velocity data. Like, for example, 750 PRF. Later, we may get, we may push the PRF up to, 1,000 or something, and you'll notice a change. So anyway, this is super nerd stuff. But just so that you know, on our radar, we change modes based on what we need for the time being. Okay? All right. Enough of that. But we'll look at that. I spent time at Disney and appreciate how they close rides and attractions when lightning's within 10 miles. Oh, yeah. The tourists can complain all they want. I don't care. I don't care. Safety is safety. All right, let's look at the tropical models, shall we? Operational GFS. Still showing like some lowering pressure around the Caribbean, 23rd, 24th, 25th, but nothing organized. Look at that. There's a little something right in here, the 24th. A little something around here, the 26th. So that you see that 1, 2, 3. 3 things. None of which are like bonkers, but there are 3 things. There's something interesting there, something interesting there, something interesting there. That's around the 30th. Again, it looks like... Now, this is interesting to me. So it's a little late, but you've got interesting. But then you've got like another thing kind of firing up here. That would absolutely mirror the BSR, which is crazy. Yeah. So there's some interesting things showing up. Definitely waking up. Nothing of like, monster threat. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the Euro. This is the ensemble control. It's, You see that? The lowering pressure around Florida, the 24th. Nothing organized there. A nice strong wave coming off of Africa, the 26th. That's going to be the next game in town, it looks like. And the European is absolutely trying to develop it. Little low comes off the Carolinas. Maybe something there. Another. Look at that. You got something there. Definitely something there. And then off the coast of Africa, there at the very end, yet another something. You see how as soon as the Madden-Julian oscillation goes into phase, it's like bada bing, bada boom. It just explodes. And that's exactly kind of where we're going. Linda says, I can't get the WESH radar on my Android. Why not? It's there. Should be there. Eric, do you think SpaceX will launch without weather issues this afternoon? I don't know, man. They'll launch through clouds, but like if there's static electricity, stuff like that, that's where it'll be an issue. Yeah. So does this mean Saharan dust is going away and things are getting wetter? Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, Becca, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wes should have a special on how to be safe in a lightning storm. A lot of new people move to Florida, have no idea about weather in Florida and how bad it can be. I think we just need to constantly remind people. But I would go so far as to say that, like, when the thunder roars, head indoors, and it's as simple as that, and we just have to constantly drive that point home. Gene says, see, I told you. Shh, 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 shh. I know. Oh, well. All right. In the meantime, there's our 7-day forecast. Jennifer, tourists too. I know, but like tourists are not watching us, So all I can do is every time we talk about it, and I try to always mention it, but yeah. Looks like the Euro has that feature wanting to curve, Jerry says. Yeah, it'll be interesting just to see how it plays out. And then there's the whole, like, these troughs are firing up early. These frontal boundaries are moving in. So it's like, you got to get something into the Caribbean almost to get things moving in. It's what an interesting thing. You know what's so funny is there's a truck that just came into the neighborhood that needs to come by my house. Hasn't in like months. Maybe he will one day. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anything? Anything at all, friends? Tropics are waking up. We talked about this yesterday. Let's just look and see. I haven't seen this today, but let's look at the Madden-Julian oscillation. Let me switch this to the standby. Turn you off. Turn you on. Turn you on. Yeah, so it's already going into phase around Africa, right? But like, green is tropics. Yeah, look at us going into phase. Look at all that green. These next couple of days, oh yeah. MJO absolutely, oh yeah, absolutely going into phase. Yep. Yep. There we are. Rosebud says hurricanes don't scare me, blizzards scare me. I don't want any of them, but that's just me. All right, listen, I will see you today at 3:30 for the afternoon coffee talk. In the meantime, I'm running around scope ensembles. One last thing, and then we can put this puppy to bed real quick. Let's just look at the ensembles. I love that you guys are asking for ensembles. Like, what nerds? No offense, of course. All right. Ensembles. Seriously, though. What nerds? I love it. All right. This is the GFS ensembles. They're not going crazy with that feature, by the way, in the Southern Gulf. Maybe something, but got to see there's some disturbed weather around Florida, but there, the 26th, 27th, we're starting to see some ensembles showing lows around. Nothing too crazily, but they're starting to come alive with stuff around, right? So, the last week in August, definitely going to be stuff to watch. It's those homegrown ones that you have to watch out for, right? All right, so that's the GFS, definitely showing some stuff. What about the European? Let's come through here. Jennifer says, pretty sure a lot of us are here for the nerd stuff. Works for me. I'm here for it. Starting to see the models coming alive here on the European. Same time frame like that last week in August. Trying to show stuff. Yep. Recurvers or, at this point, all of that just says to me like, just stay aware. Just stay aware. Right? All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you later on today for the afternoon coffee talk.